the current lake trout abundance is as high as we can get in the new ecosystem, or just start to build up. And to many of us, particularly from the food web perspective, the answer is no obvious. But I will just focus on the lake trout stock assessment. My update will include 3 components: age composition, well recruitment, and the survival index of those stock year classes and the overall abundance in the lake. So this slide shows the age structure that we know is unusual. Basically, we cannot do any type of catch curve analysis based on the age structure like this. Those old strong year classes are from stocked right before the 2003 L1 collapse. And those very poor year classes are stocked after year L1 collapse. The recent strong year classes, 2010 and 2011, that's 84, so you can see the year classes. So it's scary. From 2002 through 2009, we have 8 consecutive year classes. The recruitment is very poor. And for those year classes, the first rate pause of well recruitment did not quickly compensate the decline in stock recruitment. And we are so lucky, you can see the mortality appears to be very low. Right now, the oldest age group is over 25, close to 30, which is not sure in this slide. And this is this panel just the same as the last slide. We can see that this is a stock fish, wild fish, and the CWT fish. So you can see for those a little bit older wild lake trout, we don't see any stock fish. And also for most recent strong year classes, we can see about more than 2/3 or about 2/3 are wild fish, about 1/3 are stock fish. This slide shows a comparison between northern Lake Huron and southern Lake Huron. From northern Lake Huron, we see those old strong year classes. We don't see them in southern Lake Huron. The oldest age group are similar between north and the south. So if these 4 year classes is due to the L-wipe collapse, after L-wipe collapse, the recruitment of stocked fish are very poor, and that situation happened somehow a little bit early than in southern Lake Huron. Yesterday, Matt gave a talk compared the offshore stocking and the nearshore stocking. In Lake Huron, we found in the early year, we found the wild recruitment in offshore reef. So since 2000, we don't have offshore stocking anymore. So that's a background to understand this. So in recent years, the relative abundance is a little bit lower in southern Lake Huron. This slide shows a commercial CPUE on Ontario water. If we focus on the recent year, you can see the north versus south comparison were consistent as what we found from our survey in the US. You can also see the wild abundance increase more rapidly in northern Africa. That's also what we saw from our survey in the US. So this slide shows the survival index of stock year classes. This increase is due to the reduced dog mortality that allow the stock abundance to build up. And this decline since 2002 year classes. That's related to the collapse of L1. So that is unlike the Lake Superior story, that's a density dependent value. In Lake Huron, it's a full change value. And that survival index has been so low. So that leads to the recent decision, the stocking will cut by 100% in southern Lake Huron and by 50% in northern Lake Huron. So with the recent mass marking program, the recent year classes survival getting better. That Chuck mentioned that last year to me, and that our data show that's true. But we don't believe that index will increase back to the previous level. Impossible. And it's even harder for that index just increase back to the 2002 level. If somehow the stocking gets reduced, that index can increase between this 2001 and the 2002 year classes. That would be very interesting because we know the recent year, the ecosystem is not the same ecosystem as the previous year. So this slide shows the recent trend of wild-fish juvenile CPUE. Without the last data point, what prediction I can make about the wild recruitment for near future? I guess nobody will make a prediction with those two data points, highest data point. Now with this data point, do we have confidence about wild recruitment, the status, and the near future trend? You can see that a stepwise increase. And I believe the wild recruitment will increase stepwise, step by step. But at each step, the variation between years will be very high. Every year we put the fishery data and the survey data to do catch age model. So far we finished the northern part. We are still in progress to finish the southern part. You can see the total stock of biomass looks like appear to be flat or somehow close to the asymptotic sense. That leads a lot of people think about, say, whether or not the stock approach to the carrying capacity of the lake. But if that's true, we still need to expand the continued increase of wild stock. So what actually balance the total biomass is the decline in stock recruitment and the continued increase in wild recruitment, so that we can see a balance. Recent year, the level appear to be going to be flat. So it's just recall of previous slides. The recent decline in stock recruitment is not driven by density effect. It's related to the change in the food level. you only trust our survey, trust the data from our survey, this time series may give us some trouble. It looks like after 40 years, more than 40 years, the abundance index is reaches the fallback to the lowest level. That slide just follow our tradition. We put all lecture costs together to calculate the CPUE. And in the following slide, I will argue we need to approximately separate the juvenile and the adult. And we also need to use the model-based standard CPUE. Here, I just briefly explain some This is a month and the shoreline interaction. That means if you ask me compare detour and rugged city where CPUE is higher, I will say that depends on which months you do your survey, you do your fishing. And also here, if you ask me the catch rate is higher in deep water or shallow water, that depends on where you go, which months you go. That's for adult fish. For juvenile fish, we do see the difference among location, but in general, deep water gives us a higher catch rate. This slide separate standard CPUE for adult lake trout and juvenile lake trout. And thanks the USGS survey, the bottom trout survey, that also allow me to separate the time series to 3 periods. This is related to L-white class. And you can also see that the largest decline in AG1, LY, and rainbow smelt and older. The largest decline is between 94 and 96, not 2003. Then you can see roughly, I will go through more detail in next slide. Adult CPUE follow juvenile CPUE up. Similar period in the trend for the recent period. But here, continued increase in adult CPUE, dramatic rapid decline in juvenile CPUE. If this kind of trend, very easy for us to think about density effect, but just watch this data alone, this is a continued increase, continued decline. Note the dynamics, density dependent. So this slide shows the inverse relation. Actually, it's a juvenile CPUE decline. You saw the adult CPUE increase. So don't jump quick to make a conclusion about density dependent. And also see the 2-year time lag. How this is possible? My explanation is one adult mortality got reduced and the juvenile distribution and the catchability distribution changes and the catchability decline. That's the only possible explanation to me. And I confirm that, then take a look at the recent period. The y-axis, the scale are similar, but at juvenile CPUE, you can see it's a correspond to this area. So that can confirm that the CPU distribution change and the catchability decline. And compare this recent period and the early period. It's the same skew adult CPUE follow juvenile CPUE increase or decrease. that indicate the stock is still in the early phase to build up, not the density dependent. In the early period, we can also separate those years relatively high adult mortality and the relative low adult mortality. Another big change is the time lag. In the early period, only 1 year, and the recent year is 3 years. So go back to this slide. We know that the general consensus LY class indicate within C dramatic change and long-lasting change in the ecosystem. And we also believe this early period is the initial phase of that dramatic change. And during that phase, now if I conclude this is related to the distribution of Huron lake trout and catchability decline about the Huron lake trout. That's related to a lot of information, microinvertebrate and crayfish distribution have been changed during this period. So the conclusion is that the major change in 2003. Before that major change in the lake ecosystem, there is a period initial phase of the ecosystem change. And during that period, I believe there is a change in juvenile fish distribution and catchability. And after 2003, since 2002 year classes, the recruitment of stocked fish substantially declined. That's the background. And the recent phase, the stock still in the early phase of build up. Adult CQE related to abundance of follow Huron CQE, but the time lag changed from 1 year to 3 years. The well recruitment based on the survey data, it's a stepwise increase, not the exponential